Aperçu les plutôt à
No, for now, I'm not meeting a mic.
Alors, go leave them alone.
Your mic. And there's this place.
You primary school picking self. Better pass from now.
There's this place.
What's in this one now?
What's up, along with your mic?
Who they play Yoruba song now?
I don't know. Waiting for party.
You guys should move your mic. Mute your mic. What is it?
Your mic.
These people should mute your mic now.
You say mute your mic.
Now, Colossians 9, you call that one. Run and come and meet us here. We have
Please, let's be quiet.
Everybody, please mute your mic. What's this?
Please, you can mute all of them. Mute all of them. I've made you a host. Mute all of them, Ruth. I've made you a host. You're now the host. Ruth, mute all of them. Ruth, mute all of them.
Take care. Bye.
What's up, follow me with your mic. What's up, follow me with your mic.
This guy said, "Which kind of content this was the top." They do like woman. Woman go enter the video that way people
You don't global. In area, in 1 minute. It is like I'm about it. It will go again.
Who will you saw with this?
Onye?
I don't start to any small thing. They shout to me.
Gaga jogologo.
Who dey like the talk?
Every year.
So I'm going to shout to me.
I think take all last 2 years. I'm a what about it. No, no. Biggie. Ade.
People don't say should we have class.
I don't think anybody.
Mute your mic. Lord.
Where is this man?
Even the one that
No, you don't buy your own.
even the first I entered late. I joined very late. I don't even know the topic. I joined late. The woman said she cannot send the recording. Not put anything. Using another of one woman say how can she be teaching? And one woman is there telling the children to read the place. I have told people to mute their children.
Hello guys, you guys are like what's wrong with you guys? Let's see that but you don't Emma like
you all muted, please.
Your mouse like a fish.
Why they are mute the
I think we have a class rep. I think we have a class rep. Class rep. Mute everybody.
Oh, if that is
Everybody.
but if that is everything is objective. Is everything objective?
I shall be this tomorrow. So I shall Jojo.
Okay, everything from now is objective.
That did not mute his or mine.
Snapchat and
Please.
I want to click that one. That is the end.
All of you that can mute your mic, don't be poor in
Mute your mic now. Information available to me indicates that I expect all of you now to behave mature and muting your mic. So we are on with today's class. Looking at the session 4.
June.
And by this invitation,
Jesus Christ.
knowing fully that we met physically last week.
Jacket, yeah. Fashion jacket, they need to mail like 10. Then
So
the other
today,
one, 5.
what we are doing is more or less of a revision class. So we are going to continue
the fashion jacket.
do revision when we meet. Henceforth, since we have covered all the 4
the fashion jacket
questions allocated to me. So now,
okay. So okay, I'm going to check it on you.
Your mic. Your mic.
Okay. Ayana, thank you.
In the study session, you will be introduced to the concept of value chain. And you recall that we actually treated value chain in our previous class. That we actually treated value chain. Now, so there are varieties of products and services in the market. And each participant contributes. Participants contribute to their value. Distributors will make them wherever they are needed, added.
Why you guys have your mic on? Now you also the lecturer.
Processes in this study session.
I just went there to print my
learning outcome is that for this study session 4, each learner should be able to offer explanation and explain.
I'm just like God. If I don't know, I'm just like, why not getting sense? It's not right now.
They were not.
Two. To be able to discuss the concept of value chain.
I cannot repeat it again.
We need to discuss the concept of value chain analysis, explain value chain, primary and secondary activities. Be able to also offer explanation of value chain configuration and value chain management.
Why are they showing like
What are the key terms we are looking at? We are looking at key terms that include business value chain, primary activities, secondary activities, value chain configuration.
They make sure that all the batch they are finish everything before they start teaching. They are not doing like that. It's not like that. Day of examination, some people are becoming
activity analysis, value analysis, and evaluation.
What is that module all about? What is the module all about? Because these are the things I was like, if I go to school, I'll be hearing send the module. I don't even know all those stuff. I just say, God, I know, say, those things why I know, maybe I start with them.
No, please. Use your mic, please.
God,
I remove those people that are not moving.
This is GS102. This is your test. Don't call it test. Call it philosophy and logic. How many pages?
You guys to shut up now. Mute your mic now. You're mature.
Okay, that is like a test. All the courses, I mean, all the
Raptors, all of us died.
Yes, please. What?
In one subject.
Don't make it noise. If you don't want to be in this class, please.
It's only one subject that you're talking about. The whole subject.
Alpha. Google. Okay, Alpha.
We got animal instead of students. We got animal instead of students. Imagine.
Daddy.
What animal?
I can.
No one will make
So later. All right.
It's not that you guys don't hear word or I don't understand. The last class, we meet the last class because of this rubbish. And so you guys continue.
I don't understand you.
Like what the fuck? See, we tried the last time, we didn't do anything at all. Now you guys will continue with this noise. Mute your mic, simple as that. Mute your mic, simple as that. You don't hear what at all.
Mute everybody. You have the power. You are the host. Mute everybody.
Mr. Samuel, please, our class rep is raising her hand.
Hello, sir. Hello, Dr. Samuel. Hello, sir. Hello, Dr. Majekodunmi. This is Ruth.
Please, Sister Ruth, let us get to the root of this matter.
Sir, please, you can continue. Let those that have ears should hear, and let those that don't want to listen should go.
Maxwell, put your mic.
Please, can you mute everyone?
Sir, please, is there no way you can mute everybody so that we can hear attentively? Anybody that wants to talk should raise his hand, then you answer questions. I think the best way to do this class is for you to mute everybody
Yes.
in everybody participating. Then anybody that wants to ask questions will raise his hand. No, I'm not hearing anything, I'm just hearing noise. The people that want to learn will learn.
I agree with you.
Why they talk as the radio FM?
Or maybe rapture just happen. All of us should die.
Please, can somebody send us the medal so that we can be eating and be
like can you please iron? Everything will go. Help you only to put iron.
That's fine, eh? My also can even press my cloth.
I won't hear buy market what's my
Please mute there's
Please just mute everybody. Mute everybody.
This kind of
Sir, please continue. We are serious. We are listening to you, sir. Please.
Spoke all of you.
no better.
Students are wicked. One will say, let you understand like persuading.
Hello, Ruth. Okay. Okay. So what should I do?
What you should do is that you should mute everybody. Mute everybody. Then anybody that wants to ask question should raise his hand. Should raise his hand, then you answer the question. So if you mute everybody so that I can hear, nobody is hearing. I'm not hearing anything.
Sir, please, can you mute everybody? Please, just mute everybody. All these people,
Mute
we are not.
everybody. Anybody that wants to ask question, raise his hand.
Just
Then
mute
you
everybody,
omit the
sir.
person to speak.
Please, we want to learn, please. Ah.
I believe say all these people wey no gree put their mic never pay school fees because if they don't pay school fees they know how much don comot for their body.
Wait, I believe if
Capital
everybody is quiet, then the rest will follow up, please.
Ruth, you can. Ruth, you can mute all of them now. This one.
Everyone is muted now. You can continue with your class.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ruth, can you hear me now? And can you see the slide I'm sharing?
Yes, we can hear. I can hear you. So everybody can hear you, sir.
Okay, and I hope the mandate I undertake, you can do that now. Ruth. Hello, Ruth.
I can hear you, sir.
Ruth.
I can hear you, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Okay. So last week, we actually concluded our teachings. We concluded our teachings last week, and I told us that I will send the lecture note to us. And actually, I've sent this lecture note since last week. So what we are basically doing today is revision. So we treated this same topic last week. Remember when I came last week, we
We started by doing the revision, starting from the first session we had, the second session, the third. Then we now treated this particular one last Saturday. So, and I told us that we have, by treating this value chain last week, that we have completed all the sessions allocated to me in your scheme. So today we are basically having a revision class, and that's why I'm picking just one of these slides to speak to it again for purpose of clarification for those probably were not around last week, or people will want to be refreshed in their memory as to what we did last week. So business value chain can be defined as a set of activities which firms operating in some specific industry perform in order to offer products that are valuable to the market. This is a deliberate effort by firms to offer goods and services of value to the market. The concept of business value chain was coined and added to the firm's competitive strategy by Michael Porter in 1985. Porter divided it into primary activities and secondary activities. The primary activities include inbound logistic operations, outbound logistics, services, marketing, and sales, while the secondary activities include technology, co-development and infrastructure, human resource, and procurement. These are all the things I put on the board when we met physically last week. I believe all of you will recall that we did all that. That's one of the beauty of us meeting last week. All those things mentioned under the primary and secondary activities, we're able to put them on the board for you to see. I drew the diagram, and I also have you two to go online and see the same diagram we're playing with. And I also made it known to us last week that the whole essence of value chain analysis is for organizations to attain what is called cost leadership. Many organizations strive and put all they can in place in order to exceed and match competitors and go further to identify the needs of the customers and put strategies in place. Okay? And when they do all this, the question is, do they actually end up, taking position as cost leader among the competitors? A strategic management analysis techniques that is usually used to measure the level of perceived customer satisfaction of value is referred to as value chain analysis. Value chain analysis is composed of transformation process that incorporate both input and output stages. So, having said that, we understand that last week when we came together physically, I made it known to us that the essence of value chain is not just for organizations to say, okay, they are into business. So you have to understand that as much as possible, organizations are into competition. Organizations are what? Into competition. So what now really happens is that because organizations are into competition, it is very essential, and I say it again, it is very essential that organizations must offer products that are deemed to be of high value to consumers. That's one. Two, Those high-value products must not be overpriced. They must not be what? Overpriced. Because if your own product is overpriced, the consumers will look for a product that is as good as yours from the competitor, from your rival organization. And if the rival organization offers them a more reasonable and affordable price for the same product or service, they will boycott yours and go there. And that's why the essence of cost leadership comes in. If you are is of equal value with that of your rival, and you now have to now sell it higher than that of your rival, the error you have committed is that you have failed to manage the processes of input and conversion, packaging and release into the market. You have failed to what? To manage the cost, to minimize the cost. As such, by the time you add your profits to the product and you put it into market, you discover that the product of your competitors who have been able to manage their costs will be seen as by far more cheaper than yours, as by far more cheaper than your own product. So operating in sectors where firms have production advantages give them competitive advantage over other firms. Value chain concept was introduced by Michael Porter, in his book titled Competitive Advantage in 1995. And it was stated in the book that value chain can utilize, are utilized by firms. Value chains are what? Utilized by firms. Not just for the fun of utilization by firms, they are utilized by firms to build the firm's sustainable competitive advantage in the business field. Porter went further to classify business activities into two groups, namely primary and secondary, Not just, he said primary product activities and what? Support activities. So there are primary activities and there are what? Support activities. All these I mentioned obviously presenting a diagram to those who were in class in our last Saturday interaction. So we have two blocks of activities, primary and secondary activities. So value chain primary activities include what? Inbound logistics. Inbound what? Logistics. This deals with issue and relationship with suppliers and issues surrounding store of products, receiving of products, and disseminate input. These primary activities are associated with receiving, storing, material handling, warehousing, inventory control, vehicle scheduling, and return of products to suppliers. So all those processes that bring raw material into the organization, every process that makes raw material available to the organization, all of them together, they are termed what? Inbound logistics. Because without raw material, even when you are into servicing organization, you may need biro, you may need paper to write, and all those. All those are very essential too. So they are what? Sort of, you need computer to do your work. All those one can constitute inbound logistic in a service organization. Value chain primary activities include two, operation, that is the process of converting that raw material from that state of being a raw material. This involves all the arrangement and activities required in transforming raw material at the input stage into finished goods that can be referred to as output. That can be referred to as what? Output. So operation, or another word for it, is conversion or processing. is transforming the raw material, that is from inbound logistics now to finished products. That's what operation. And sample of these include packaging, assembly, maintenance of equipment, printing, testing, facility operation, and so on and so forth. Then we have outbound logistics. This deals with all issues or activities involving collecting, storing, and distributing or distribution of the final product. Then you have marketing and sales. Okay. This is the process of putting together activities and promotion that inform and give information to consumers about the product and services. These activities are usually done to induce buyer to make purchase. Anytime you hear about marketing, marketing is what is used to generate sales. Because through that marketing, you will provide information about the quality of the product, where you can get it, the price, what the product can do, okay, the discount that you can enjoy if you make bulk purchase and all what have you. So marketing is activities that leads to what? Sales of products. So when you do marketing, promo, advert, and the rest, personal selling attempt and all what have you, it will eventually make the organization to sell more of that product. Then the fifth one is services under what? Primary activities. This includes all forms of after-sales services, support to customers to ensure. Now, I was telling us last week when we met that you go to pharmacy to buy drugs, you see some of them, they will take your details down. After 2 days of using the drug or so, they call you. What they are basically doing is what? After-sales service, that how did your body react to that drug? Huh? So you can see that we have 5 activities under what? Primary activities. We have 5 activities. So business value chain is a set of activities which firm operating in some specific industry perform in order to offer products that are valuable to the market. It is a process where businesses add utilities to goods and services offered to the society. But then the value chain, I told us last week, this definition is academic. Now let's break it down. Like I was telling us last week, if you pick cassava, for instance, you bring cassava from market, there are those people who are farmers, they just grow this cassava and they bring it out in that raw form. Then when it comes out, it becomes raw material. Another person will pick that cassava, wash it, peel the back, and use the back of it for feed to animals, like maybe goat, ram, cow, which means they have added value to it before they give it out. Some can produce acid from it. They have added value to that state in which they collected it. So it's value chain will now move. Some will add value to it, turn it to what? Cassava powder. Some will turn it to gari. That's another value chain. They have added value to make it become gari. Another people will add value to it to become flour that they can use to make bread. Another person will now pick that flour they can use to make bread and use it to either produce bread or cake or donut or what have you. You can see how value chain works. So we treated this actually last week, but because we have the privilege to meet again today, we're now offering a more clearer understanding on it. So what you are reading in the paper now that is saying to offer utility, I'm now putting it to you in a practical form, how the utility is attained, okay? So different aspects of making this to become better and be useful for people is what? Categorized as value chain. I also mentioned about poultry last week for those people who attended class. that in poultry you have very different value chain. You have those who are in veterinary aspect of it. You have those who are into feed aspect of it. You have those who are into ornament aspect of it. Okay. So value chain secondary activities now. These can be classified as follows. We have 4 here. Procurement. Before I go further, you recall last week that I mentioned that this particular aspect, is the aspect where you need individuals who are not necessarily people with the core knowledge in the area of that core business. And I was telling you last week that, for instance, if you have a pharmaceutical firm, those people will be in charge of primary activities should be what? Pharmacists. But in charge of secondary activities, you may not necessarily need those people who are core experts. Okay? So you find out that in a pharmaceutical firm, an accountant can work there. Okay? Somebody who has studied personnel management can work there. Somebody who has studied computer technology, computer science can work there. Why? Because they have the secondary activities. These people will work under the secondary activities. Okay? They are the one for whom, for instance, human resource with organized training for workers. Source for helpers to train them will be the one that will determine the package that they can give people to motivate them. Determine when people should go for leave. Okay? Determine how the best way to create allowance for those people apart from their salary and so on and so forth. So you need all these people who will do the procurement, help you to do the purchasing. People have studied purchasing, know where to buy the quality and at what price to save money for the company. You need those people that will be in the area of technology, people will work on your computer for you, okay, and help you to do the processing. People in the maintenance, that when there is need to fix a particular electrical issue, you can call on them to check this, check that, they will do that. They have engineers in that end too. Okay? So these are all that we also treated last week. I've given this note to us since that last week. So the 5th and final stage is to do evaluation of opportunities that are capable of giving the firm relative cost advantage. That's where we now get to cost advantage. This is particularly put here as if it does not relevant, put in a page. But let me tell you, cost advantage is the most vital thing about everything we are trying to look at as far as value chain is concerned. Because if you are offering quality and other people are offering the same quality with you, and your cost of getting that to market is higher, which means the price, your selling price will be higher. And once your selling price is higher than that of others, then nobody will play sentiment. Nobody will play sentiment. Everybody will rather prefer that they go and buy from the place that is cheaper and the quality is as good as your own quality. That's the truth. So cost leadership, cost advantage, cost leadership, cost advantage, bear it in mind. It's very, very important. The cost advantage is very, very important. So implementing value chain concepts may be misunderstood by employees in the organization, which may create resistance from them and frustrate effort to ensure the implementation of value chain concepts. So people in organization, in essence, have to be carried along. If you don't carry people in organization along, you may find a situation whereby those people that you are not carried along, they will begin to make it difficult for you to implement what you have in mind. Okay, it may make it difficult for you to implement what you have in mind when you are trying to operate the value chain process. But if you carry them along, you will find out that those people you carry along, they will support and do all the needful to make sure that the organization is attaining the predetermined goal objective as expected. Okay? Is attaining the predetermined goal and objective as what? As expected. So bear it in mind that if you have a business, that business has to thrive on two bases. One, business is making effort to offer qualitative products. And apart from offering qualitative products, it's also offering affordable price. So the whole essence of what we take from here is that individuals who are offering products or services should offer the best quality and also should offer the most affordable price. So if they ask you that what are the two major things about value chain analysis, the two major things about it is what? Offering the best products, okay, at the most affordable price. Offer the best product, one. Two, offer it at the what? The most affordable price. So with this, we have been able to do justice once again to this topic on value chain analysis. So thank you for listening. Now the floor is open for anybody who has any question to ask. And it's those people, you have to raise your hand and you'll be unmuted to speak once you raise your hand. Okay. So once I call the name Ruth, you can unmute that person to speak. I think Aboluwaduro Omotolani is raising hand. So you can unmute Aboluwaduro. Let's hear what Aboluwaduro wants to say. Then after that, we pick another person. You only unmute those people we call their name, who raise their hand. Aboluwaduro Omotolani, you can unmute. Hello, Ruth. Hello, Ruth. Is Ruth still with us? Onoja Dorothy, you can mute now and speak.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Good morning, sir. Thank you, sir, for the class. Sorry, please, I want to ask the concept of value chain analysis. You said under it, the best concept is offering the best products, and I didn't get the second one, sir.
At the most affordable price to consumers or customers. You offer the most qualitative product and you offer it at affordable rate, at affordable price to customers. Otherwise, they will look for the same level of products from your competitor who can, the same level of quality from competitors who will be ready to sell for them, to sell the same product, similar product to them at most affordable price. So in essence, users of product, consumers, they are sensitive to what? To price, not just to quality. They are also sensitive to price. Oluwadamilola, Edward, you can unmute and ask your question. Oluwadamilola. Edward, okay. Oluwadamilola is not there. Obayuwana and Messi. Please unmute and ask your question. Please unmute and ask your question. Please unmute and ask your question. Omotolani, I've asked you to unmute and ask your question since so. Omotolani, I've asked you to unmute and ask your question. Can't hear you. Is Ruth still with us? Ruth. Hello, Ruth.
Hello, sir.
Welcome.
Yes, sir. My name is Adekunle Agbola. I would just like to know the difference between value chain analysis and the business value chain.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm with you.
Yes, sir. My name is Adekunle Agbola. My question is the difference between value chain analysis and the business value chain.
Okay. Hello, I'm with you. Hello.
Can you hear me clearly, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay, my name is Adekunle Agbola.
Okay.
My question is, what is the difference between value chain analysis and the business value chain?
Okay. Business value chain is just simply looking at the intention of people to run business at a profit. Okay. The intention of people to run any kind of business they are into at what? Profits. But when you now say value chain analysis, then you are now talking about different connectivity that you have to be aware of. Now, I mentioned the issue of cassava, whereby some individuals, they grow it to bring it to market as raw material. In that raw material state, as they have brought it to the market, in their own capacity, that's where their own value addition ended. Then another level will start from there. So the chain now continues. The next person who picks it, the interest might just be that, okay, if you permit me, I want to peel it so that we use the back for feed. After peeling it, I retain the peel and sell the other aspect. Those people who are buying the other aspect, the chain still continues. Are you with me? The chain continues now with those new people who have bought the part that the man sold out after he has removed the peel. Those ones can now say, okay, we want to use it to produce starch. So that's another level of the business now. And the chain continues. When it produces starch, it also continues because some, they are into textile and they need starch for industrial use. So the demand for it to that effect. Some might say, okay, the value chain they want is from that cassava is what? The acid aspect of it. To make chemical from the acid they can derive from it. Some other may say, it's Gary we want to make from it. So all these different businesses that are associated with it, they are what? They are chains. So it's not a one-off thing. There are chain of businesses. So if you understand the concept of this value chain, you can now sit down and say, okay, what are the value chain involved in cassava products? And you say, okay, what interests me in this value chain as business that I want to stay in is just the production of starch. What interests me is just what? The production of flour for baking. So you have to break them down, understand. If you don't understand all the entire value chain that associates with it, the one you choose to do, later you may be saying, I will have, because I'm not aware, I will have stayed the Gary production aspect of it. Because I'll be able to have larger customer, I will be able to do package it better or what have you. So that's the entire concept. So you see that it's a chain actually. Okay. Is it clear to you now? Hello. Okay. I can't get response from the person who asked me to offer clarification, which I have done. So, Evans Faithful, you can ask your question. Unmute yourself, Evans Faithful. I can see your hand up. Can ask your question. Evans Faithful, you can ask your question. Evans Faithful, you can ask your question, please. Hello, Evans Faithful. You can mute yourself now. Ask your question. Rebecca.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, your question.
Sir, please, I just want you to throw more light on this, the merits of value chain analysis. I don't really understand.
Okay. When we say the merit, are you talking about merit of it, which is the benefit, or you are talking about the disadvantage of it?
Disadvantage.
Which is the disadvantage, yes. Now, when you embark on value chain, it simply means that you have to be ready to devote time. And you say the time, they say time is what? Money, in a way. Two, You have to devote resources. You have to what? Devote resources to it. And when we talk about resources, it can be in terms of money, it can be in terms of technology, it can be, for instance, for you to have enough information about certain product, the usage of certain products, you cannot stay in the comfort of a place that is not well connected to cable and the rest to have that information that, oh, this one can be used for this one can be used for sometimes for you to be able to get full information about the entire value chain, you may need to go online, spend money on data to know what are the various uses that this thing can be used for. Okay. Some are not even educated enough. Yes, they're into business, but they are not even educated enough to know how to use computer to Google online. This value chain analysis we are talking about, you discover that even some big organizations, MDs, they spend so much. Why? Because they want to get appropriate information. That's why you enter into some MD's office, you see the satellite, cable, this and that, different newspaper. They want information. What they are doing now, they think is the best. Another value chain might have been in existence. And they will not just come across it easily like that. It might be in the newspaper, it might be in CNN that they will mention it that, okay, this thing is not being used for this and that. And the organization that is thinking is on top might already be operating in the past. Okay, so it takes so much to actually be on top. Technology is moving, and so many things that you think that you are operating with, you discover that already they are the obsolete. And if you cannot come to the modernization, to the innovation stage, then the product will be seen in the market as what? A product that does not have the capacity to meet the current need. So you have to always be on top, on top, on top, on top. You have to ensure a proper monitoring. And to do that, you may even need to hire some individuals and be paying for them, which is also not easy for an organization. And you cannot rest on your OR. The fact that your product is very good now and you're offering good price, others are behind you, chasing you, competitors, rivals. And so they want to put you at the back. So it's not a terrain where those involved have opportunity to relax or to rest. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
I can see Dowu Anu raising up hand. I can see Idowu Anu. Can you unmute now and ask your question if you have any question? I think we have just barely 2 minutes left. We have barely 2 minutes left. Okay. If Anu is not ready to ask the question, can Shalom Oyebulu unmute and ask the question she wants to ask? Can I see your hand up?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good morning, sir. Can
Hello,
you hear me,
good
sir?
morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for the explanation, sir. But I have one question, sir. The business value chain definition, in a more simpler term, can it also be defined as like a multiple stream of income on a particular product? Like you use the analogy of the cassava. So one can like a cassava product can like a lot of value can be removed from just a particular product. So in a very simpler term, can it be defined as a multiple stream of income or um, value from one product? Would that be correct, sir?
That may not be exactly correct. Because when you see an individual, somebody is producing cassava, It's correct to the extent that if somebody is producing cassava, is producing it, you want to sell part of it raw, and is also interested in processing part of it to also be selling as a maybe starch, wants to peel the back too and also be selling it as feed. He wants to also produce gari from it. So we have a variety, then that your definition is perfect.
Okay.
But if the interest of the person is that he just want to look at where do I think I can make money most among this value chain, I want to stay there. Somebody may say, the one that I'm ready to make money, that I will make money for me most is just to use the peel to go and make a feed. So that person can just be targeting those people who are making gari. Say the peel you are getting from this thing, I will be coming to buy it. So that's the value chain he wants to create. You get it now?
Yes, sir, I do, sir. Thank you very much,
That's
sir.
right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I think that's how far we can go with taking questions. It's already 12:01. So thank you for being part of today's class. We hope to meet sometime again for further revision, because all the 4 topics allocated to me, we have covered them. That's why what we did today now is more or less a revision, because this same topic we treated it last week. So if we are meeting again now is to just look at any other topic, the one we did in first session, second or third, and look at it again the same way we have looked at this one. So thank you for participating in today's class, and God bless every one of us for making it. So have a nice weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome.